Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And let's talk about what's happening right now. So this should not shock anyone. If you've been watching my videos for the past week or so, I've been telling you every single day that we need a fourth wave move to the downside because the third wave move up already had 5 waves up, and we reacted to the 0.618 resistance level that I gave you a couple of days ago, which is no longer on the chart, and we got a reaction and then we went down and we got exactly to the 0.382 support level in the fourth wave. I still cannot confirm that the low is in because, well, obviously we don't have a reaction to the support zone and we are still in this downtrend over here. So if you want some targets right now, we first need to get above this high, which is at 82.6 cents. And then I would like to see a break above this high as well at 87.4 cents. If we break above that, the last high would be this right here at 90 cents. That would break the downtrend and then we are probably going higher. So right now, I want to talk about the RSI first because I think there's a possibility that we go a bit lower or maybe we get some kind of double bottom here, and let me explain why. If we look at the RSI, we went from being overbought right here to now almost being oversold, and this is very bullish because the last time we got to the oversold territory was down here when ADA got to about 50 cents. So the fact that we are getting oversold right now and ADA is at 75 cents or so, it's very good because this shows us that we are still in an uptrend, and usually after we get oversold we start going up. That's what happens pretty much every single time. And it would make sense if we did go up after this, after touching the support level, because I'm still expecting another high right here in the fifth wave move up. I'm gonna talk about that as well, but first let me focus on the fourth wave for a second. If you zoom in on this could still be an ABC down, so the low could be in. We almost got to the 0.382 support level, we did not quite touch it. And that's why I'm thinking that we could get another low and even test the 200-day moving average here, which is slightly below the 0.382 support level. It's at, let's say, 74 cents right now. And maybe if we touch that and maybe if we use it as support, that could give us a fifth wave up. And other than that, I have been expecting this fourth wave move down for the past week or so I'm not really surprised by this. And I'm expecting higher prices, but only after we bottom, so we'll see what happens. And you could say that what's happening on the RSI right now looks pretty similar to what happened over here after getting the X wave high. So I'm sorry, not this over here, this over here. We got to the overbought territory and then we got to the oversold territory almost, and then we got another high and then we started going down. Right now, maybe it's gonna be the exact same thing playing out. So we got to the overbought territory right here. We then got oversold and then we might get to the overbought territory again, get another high, and then I'm expecting the price to go down, which would make sense. So it could be the exact same setup, although of course here we ended up invalidating the entire setup. This is not what we want to do. We obviously want to hold support levels, but yeah, so far we have respected all support levels, so I don't really understand why the people in the comments are bearish. Well, actually, let me scratch that because I think I understand. They are bearish because they bought up here. I even told you a couple of days ago not to FOMO in and actually consider buying stuff when it's in a support zone. For example, right now, obviously not financial advice, because usually when the price reacts to the support levels, that's the best time to start going up. And well, what do you know, when I said that, ADA was at about 92 cents and we ended up dropping, and I warned you about this, so yeah, please learn about it next time and please not make the same mistake twice. Other than that, well, on the 4 hour we don't really have much else. We are still expecting another low, and also keep in mind, as long as we stay below the third wave high right there at 93.4 cents, this could easily turn into a much bigger ABC structure, which could put us all the way down to the 50% support level, which is at 70.8 cents, although I don't really want to see that because that would put us below the 200-day moving average, and that would not really be bullish because we could then retest it, and if we get rejected, that could give us a pretty significant move to the downside. So what we need to do right now is stay above the 200-day moving average and maybe even test it like I said, and that could give us another high. Now let me talk about the fifth wave move up. So if this right here is the low at 76.5 cents, then the next target right now is the fifth wave obviously, and that is at $1.11. That's the minimum target, and of course it could overextend. A fifth wave does not usually overextend, but it could get to about $1.22 and even $1.40 in a more bullish scenario. But if that happens, expect the second wave move down to be pretty significant. So yeah, I only want to see the price get to the 0.618. And honestly, I think we could stretch a bit higher, because above this first 618, there's another 618 where we got rejected a bunch of times in the past. And this is the red line on the chart. This is the 618 of the previous all-time high. And it acted as resistance many times in the past, like I said. We got rejected here about 5 times, and it would make sense to get rejected again and finish the first wave here, and then go down in an ABC for the second wave move down, and then finally start the third wave of the third wave of the third wave. So I think this is how the cycle will most likely play out. And other than that, let's look at the daily chart. What I said yesterday is pretty much playing out. So we got below the moving average on the RSI right there, and this structure pretty much looks exactly like what we had over here. And here we got to the overbought territory. Let me actually remind you of this. So we got to the overbought territory. We then dropped below the moving average on the RSI. We dropped below it and stayed below it. And during this time, ADA went down about 24% in this correction. And then we still went a bit higher. And then when we got rejected by the moving average on the RSI, that confirmed that the top was in, and then we went lower. And I think the exact same thing is playing out right now as well, just because we are expecting another high right here in a fifth wave, and just because the RSI might do something like this. So basically we could continue going down a bit, and then at some point when we get the fifth wave move up, we get to, let's say, $1.10 here. The moving average will be tested on the RSI, and then we will be rejected, which is going to lead to an ABC to the downside, and which could even lead to getting to the oversold territory on the daily, which would be bullish, because the last time we got oversold was down here when ADA was at 50 cents. So the setup is looking pretty bullish, and we even had a cross on the bull market support band. And what did I tell you about this like maybe a day ago? I told you that the last time we had a cross on the bull market support band, yes, we did go up in a straight line in the long term. However, in the short term, exactly after the cross, the price actually dropped, and I believe this was also a 24% move to the downside. And by the way, this even happened in 2023 as well. We had a cross on the bull market support band, and then in the short term we went down, and only after a couple of weeks we started going up like crazy. And the exact same thing happened in the previous cycle as well. We had a crossover here in November of 2019, we went a bit lower, and then we had a bounce. So what we are getting right now has been pretty much called for ever since I talked about the bull market support band and the cross. So you should not really be surprised by any of this, because the setup, I mean, it's the exact same setup every single year and every single cycle. So it's not really hard to understand what's going on here. But if you want to make things complicated, then I don't know, maybe don't look at the charts the way you look at the charts, because there are some people who only look at the chart on the, let's say, 30-minute time frame, which is a really bad idea, because yes, right now on the 30-minute time frame, ADA is really high, you know, it only went down a bit. But if you zoom out, let's say, if you zoom out on the about monthly chart or so, I mean, here ADA is still down quite a lot from the all-time highs, which by the way is normal because Bitcoin dominance is still at cycle highs. So it's a matter of perspective, and please do not look at charts like on the 30-minute time frame, and please at least try looking at charts on the daily time frame, because it's easier to understand what's going on. And well, that's pretty much it. If you want to know more about Bitcoin dominance and stuff like that, then I suggest checking out the YouTube memberships and the Patreon, because I don't really have time to talk about Bitcoin dominance in this video. So I'm gonna give you a short update. We got to the 200-day moving average here, and right now it would be the perfect time to get rejected. If we get above it, it could be bearish for the altcoins, and other than that, I'm still expecting another low on the Ethereum chart over here in a fourth wave move down, and that could put us at $3,447. and the market is going down, but it's normal because that's exactly what we need. ADA Bitcoin got rejected by the 200-day moving average, which I pretty much called on the Discord server as well. I think I said it over here. So let me actually see. ADA Bitcoin is above the bull market support band and the 200-day moving average. If ADA goes down after hitting 94 cents, it would be the best time for ADA Bitcoin to get rejected by the 200-day moving average, like it usually does, and then get above it after we are done with the fourth wave move down. And what do you think happened? We got rejected by the 200-day moving average. So maybe I am a wizard, maybe I have a crystal ball, or maybe I just look at the charts for like longer than 5 minutes and I only know what's going on in the market because I actually am paying attention to the market. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.